Imagine a place where crocodiles aren't feared but honored, where the walls of homes speak in symbols and where strength wears a smile. A land where markets walk, not stand still, and where celebration grows not from riches, but from resilience. This is Burkina Faso. Tucked quietly in the heart of West Africa, it may not boast skyscrapers or glossy postcards, but what it does have is soul. A wild, warm, beating soul that pulses through its art, its people, its dust-covered streets, and hand-woven dreams. Today, on Discovery Travel, we invite you to uncover 12 astonishing truths about this land. Stories that may surprise you, move you, or perhaps even shift how you see the world. Because Burkina Faso isn't just a destination, it's an experience waiting to leave its mark. 1. A nation that dances through its struggles. If you ever find yourself in Burkina Faso, when the drums begin to rumble like distant thunder and masks taller than men start swaying through the streets, don't run. Stay still. Watch. You're about to witness something ancient and electric. Every few years, the quiet town of Dédougou erupts into color during Festima. A festival not just of masks, but of memory. Towering wooden faces carved with care, crowned with feathers and horns, seem to breathe as dancers leap and twist beneath them. Their feet kicking up the red earth, their bodies pulsing with spirit. It's as if the ancestors themselves return to join the rhythm. And when Festima sleeps, Ciao awakens, a vast gathering where the heartbeat of African craftsmanship takes center stage. Women from every corner of the country lay out their proudest creations, hand-woven Faso Danfani textiles, silver cuffs etched with tribal tales, pots sculpted with soul. The air hums with bargaining, laughter, and the click of weaving looms. These aren't just events, they're affirmations. Proof that even in the harshest seasons, art still blooms. That identity can be stitched from scraps. That joy in Burkina Faso is not something passive. It's performed, it's painted, it's danced. This is not a country that waits for good fortune. It creates its own celebration and invites the world to join in. 2. Where women wear legacy like jewelry. In Burkina Faso, beauty isn't just worn. It's carried, lived, inherited. You'll see it in the confident stride of women walking through dusty alleys wrapped in cloths that blaze with color. Their skin, dark and glowing under the sun, tells of resilience. Their hair, often coiled into elaborate braids or adorned with beads, is both crown and canvas. And their eyes, deep, knowing, unwavering, hold stories that run deeper than borders. Here, many women still bear the soft echoes of ancestral tattoos etched gently into their cheeks or arms, not to decorate, but to declare. These markings speak of lineage, of rites of passage, of pain turned into pride. And every march, a unique ritual unfolds. Burkina Faso's own Women's Day. While much of the world marks March 8th with flowers and speeches, here the roles flip entirely. Men take over the homes. They cook, sweep, rock babies to sleep, often in borrowed skirts and painted cheeks. Offering tribute, not through words, but labor. It's not mockery, it's reverence. A nationwide pause to say, we see you, we honor you. And beyond this single day, women in Burkina Faso continue to shape their communities as educators, healers, merchants, leaders. They are not background figures, they are pillars. In every village and every market, from the fabrics they dye to the futures they forge. 3. A cuisine that feeds more than hunger. To eat in Burkina Faso is not merely to fill the belly. It is to be welcomed into a rhythm, a way of life written in smoke, spice, and silence between bites. At the heart of it all is two, a soft, earthy dough made from millet or corn flour, gently stirred into being over open flames. It's humble, but never plain. always served with richly layered sauces drawn from okra, baobab leaves, or wild herbs, thickened into something almost sacred. Think of it as mashed potatoes reborn through the heartbeat of West Africa. Then there's riz gras, the soul of the street. Simmered rice steeped in tomato, onion, garlic, and whatever meat the day allows. Often chicken, sometimes goat, occasionally nothing but memory. It's a dish born from both resourcefulness and ritual, served steaming in metal bowls by roadside vendors with proud hands. And on every corner, the scent of brochettes, skewered meats sizzling on charcoal, dances in the air. Thin strips of beef or chicken, kissed by marinades and dusted with chili, whisper their invitation long before you spot the fire. The drinks speak too. Dolo, a fermented millet beer, is rough around the edges, bold, tangy, unapologetically local. Bissap, made from hibiscus petals, sweet and sour like a memory you can't quite place, cool, crimson, and calming. This is not a cuisine of luxury. It's a cuisine of belonging, of making something out of everything. And in every bite, there is history, hospitality, and heat. Fourth homes built by hand, held by heart. Constructed from a blend of earth, straw, and yes, cow dung, these structures rise humbly from the ground. But what happens next transforms the ordinary into the unforgettable. Women, often grandmothers, daughters, neighbors, take brushes fashioned from twigs or fingers, dipped in dye, and begin to paint. Not with hesitation, but with a quiet authority passed down through generations. The walls become canvases, spirals, diamonds, waves, suns, each symbol drawn not for decoration, but for meaning, protection, strength, fertility, memory. These homes are not merely lived in, they are spoken through. The doorways are deliberately small, forcing every guest to bow as they enter. A built-in gesture of humility, whether you come as a friend or a stranger. Inside, the rooms are cool even under the punishing West African sun, a tribute to the wisdom of natural insulation, perfected long before sustainability became a global catchphrase. During times of unrest, the patterns evolved into coded defenses. One shape might signal vigilance, another, resilience, a third, belonging. And while the materials may be modest, mud, straw, ash, dung, the result is far from simple. These are living monuments, crafted entirely by women's hands, passed from mother to daughter, not by law, but by love. To walk through a village like Tiebele, the gentle giant who lifts a nation. Born Sheikh Ahmed al-Hassan Sanu, he didn't begin life with a barbell in hand. His first arena was the rugby field, where his raw power turned heads. But when he turned toward strongman competitions, something clicked, not just in muscle, but in purpose. In a land without luxury gyms, he trained with car axles, engine blocks, bags of sand. His gym was the open air. His mirrors? The eyes of curious boys watching from the sidelines. And then, the world took notice. In 2019, he shattered the world record for the log lift, hoisting 469 pounds above his head like it was made of feathers. 2 years later, he returned to outdo even himself, 505 pounds in the axle press. A new global benchmark, a new chapter written, not from a nation of sports giants, but from Burkina Faso. But what makes Iron Biby remarkable isn't just what he lifts, it's how he carries it. At nearly 400 pounds and towering above most, he enters competitions with a playful grin, often pretending to struggle before casually dominating the field. Crowds cheer, not just for his records, but for his joy. His meals? Legendary. Roasted chickens by the flock, rivers of milk and mountains of rice, fuel for both muscle and myth. What began as a childhood nickname, Iron Biby, is now a title etched into international sport. Yet, for all his power, he remains rooted, proud of his home, humble in his fame. 6. Markets, That walk, not wait. In Burkina Faso, the marketplace doesn't always wait behind stalls or under tin roofs. Sometimes it walks right past you, carried on ahead with perfect posture and centuries of skill. Picture this: a woman gliding through the heat of Ouagadougou, her steps quiet but certain. Atop her head, a towering basket of mangoes sways ever so slightly, as if dancing to a rhythm only she can hear. No hands, no fuss, just elegance, born of necessity. This is the world of mobile markets, where vendors don't wait for customers to come. They bring the goods directly to them. In villages and cities alike, you'll see trays of roasted peanuts, heaps of shea butter, rolls of printed fabric, and even steaming brochettes, all moving through crowds like offerings from a living river. The tradition starts young. Girls begin with bowls of water or bread, learning how to steady their load while walking rocky paths or weaving through traffic. With time, they master not just balance, but instinct, knowing where the need is before it's spoken. It's commerce in motion, a performance of daily life. Some vendors toss oranges like jugglers to attract a crowd. Others charm with stories, proverbs, or perfectly timed laughter. Prices might shift with the heat, the mood, or the sparkle in a buyer's eye. But it's more than business. These roaming sellers connect neighborhoods, carry gossip, share recipes, teach little ones how to count. They are the heartbeat between homes. To watch them is to witness resilience dressed as routine. To follow them is to walk with the spirit of Burkina Faso, carried high, never shaken. 7. Where taxis tell stories, not just directions. In Burkina Faso, getting from A to B is rarely a straight line, and rarely just a ride. Climb into one of Ouagadougou's faded green and white taxis, perhaps a 90s Peugeot held together with string, prayer, and hope. And you're not just hailing transportation. You're entering a moving mosaic of wit, music, and unpredictable delight. Here, the drivers are not silent chauffeurs. They are storytellers, debaters, part-time DJs, and full-time philosophers. One moment, you're cruising through traffic. The next, you're deep in a conversation about politics, football, love, or the rising cost of tomatoes, all while Afrobeat pulses from a crackling speaker in the dashboard. Meters? Don't bother looking. Fares here are negotiated with charm, humor, or the occasional compliment. Say something kind about the driver's playlist or offer a story in return, and you just might pay less than expected. Some passengers have even bartered rides for a strong coffee or a bag of ground nuts. And if your driver suddenly pulls over to chat with a friend, buy mangoes, or briefly pick up a cousin, don't panic. This is Burkina Faso. The road makes room for life. These taxis, however humble, are the arteries of the city. They carry more than people. They carry gossip, laughter, favors, music, and sometimes goats. They blur the lines between public and personal, between stranger and friend. Here, the journey is never just about distance. It's about connection, the kind that costs nothing and stays with you long after the engine cuts. 8. A hidden haven for wanderers and wanderers. Burkina Faso may not shout for attention, but for those who listen closely, it sings. Far from the tourist trails of East Africa or the glitter of big city lights, this land offers something quieter and somehow more profound. Here, travel isn't about spectacle, it's about connection. With earth, with memory, with self. Start your journey in Arli National Park, where golden grasslands stretch wide under a sky that seems to breathe. Between November and May, the watering holes brim with life. Elephants, antelopes, baboons, and even the occasional lion gathering in the hush of morning light. You won't need a luxury lodge, just patience, respect, and a good pair of eyes. Venture further, and you'll find the haunting cliffs of Sindhu, towering sandstone fingers sculpted over millions of years, reaching toward the clouds like silent sentinels. Hike their narrow paths at dusk, and you'll swear the rocks themselves remember things. They've seen migrations, rituals, storms, and now you. Back in Ouagadougou, step into the National Museum, where artifacts hum with history. Traditional masks, instruments, weapons, and woven garments offer a glimpse not just into Burkina Faso's past, but its present heartbeat. Often, artisans work right there in the courtyard, chiseling, threading, carving, reminding visitors that culture here isn't kept behind glass. It's alive. So what kind of traveler are you? Do you chase wildlife or wonder, stillness or story? In Burkina Faso, you don't have to choose. The land gives it all, quietly, humbly, like a gift you didn't know you needed. 9. The village that calls Crocodiles family. In most places, the sight of a crocodile would send ripples of fear through a crowd. But in the village of Bazoulé, just outside Ouagadougou, fear gives way to familiarity, even friendship. Here, over 100 crocodiles glide through the village pond, not as predators, but as protectors. Locals don't run from them. They feed them, talk to them, name them, and sometimes even sit beside them for photos. No cages, no tricks, just a quiet pact older than memory. Legend says that centuries ago, during a punishing drought, it was the crocodiles who led villagers to hidden water, guiding them through the brush to survival. In gratitude, the people vowed to protect them in return. That bond, part myth, part miracle, has held ever since. The crocodiles of Bazoulé are unlike any others. They share the water with children who bathe nearby. They respond to familiar voices. They rarely fight over food. And when one of them dies, the village holds a funeral. Solemn, sincere, respectful. Each year, festivals are held in their honor. Offerings are made. Songs are sung. Tourists come, wide-eyed and hesitant, expecting danger, and leave touched by something they can't quite explain. It's not about taming nature. It's about coexisting with it in a way that feels ancient, sacred, and strangely gentle. Because in Bazoulé, the line between man and beast has not been erased. It's simply been softened by gratitude. 10. Where simplicity becomes sanctuary. If the world ever feels too fast, too loud, too expensive, Burkina Faso offers a quiet alternative. In the heart of Ouagadougou, a modest one-bedroom apartment might set you back $250 a month, or half that if you don't mind a slower pace in the suburbs. Daily meals. A bowl of rice and grilled meat for under $3. Motorbike taxis, the most common way to get around, charge 50 cents a ride. Electricity, water, and Wi-Fi together, often less than $50 a month. You don't need much here to live comfortably, and even less to feel connected. Of course, this isn't a digital nomad utopia with rooftop cafes and co-working hubs on every corner. The roads are dusty, the power flickers. The internet isn't always fast, but it's fast enough for a video call home or a night of streaming under the fan. More importantly, the people stretch what they have with grace. Markets overflow with fresh produce at prices that feel frozen in time. Tailors stitch entire wardrobes for what a single shirt might cost elsewhere. Neighbors share tools, meals, even childcare. Not as a favor, but as a way of life. You don't come to Burkina Faso to live large. You come to live light and real. For travelers, expats, or seekers chasing something quieter than success, this place offers what money can't buy: time, community, enoughness. Could you live here? Maybe not forever, but perhaps just long enough to remember what truly matters. Burkina Faso may not make headlines, but it leaves a mark in clay walls, dancing masks, quiet markets, and honest hearts. If this journey stirred your curiosity, there's more where that came from. Subscribe to Discovery Travel and keep exploring the world's hidden wonders, one story at a time.